These are samples that were taken just this weekend. We had to go around and take this sample, and this is from the Prez River, and a lot of communities are drinking this water. At the time we were taking these samples, there were children who were happily swimming in this water, not knowing what it is. Now, previous speakers have spoken about turbidity. What it means is that the level of suspended particles in this water. It is not only the color that makes it polluted, but it's a concoction of chemicals, mercury, and others. And in these rivers, the fishermen fishing can no more catch fish because all the fish are gone. So that is very, very important for us to take note. Maybe you may not be living around the Prez or around the Cobra, but can you guess where this one is coming from? It's coming from along the brim, which is feeding our Wager Dam, which is the source for us here in Accra. So the water company will tell you they are not treating chemicals. All they are doing is sedimentation to get the particles to settle. So if it is clear, it doesn't mean it is clean. The water you are drinking, if it is clear, it doesn't mean it is clean. So for those of you who are asking questions that what is our agenda is for all of us sitting here. Our agenda is for you, the journalist who opens your tap. If you are even depending on groundwater, you are not safe because they are also polluted. And most of our sachet water and others are depending on the groundwater. So you sitting down there, you are not safe. This is your fight. This affects you. Anytime you open your tap, remember and ask yourself, is this water clear? Enjoy the campaign. Thank you.
We make the following demands. The president must declare a state of emergency over our water bodies and get the military to clear everyone found on the water bodies. i.e. mining on the water bodies is illegal, and as we all know. 2. All planned and active mining concessions overlapping with river buffers should be abrogated, and all mining activities within 100 meters buffer of all rivers and streams should be halted immediately by the president. Failure of which the president must implement the full force of Act 995 without fear or favor of political color and status in the society. 3. Almost all water bodies take their sources from the forest reserves, so all entry permits given to mine in protected globally significant biodiversity areas (GSBAs) must also be abrogated. 4. Repeal NI 2462 immediately. 5. All the presidential candidates of the political parties vying for elections should publicly declare their total support for this crisis response. Failure to do so, it means you don't have the nation at heart and you cannot lead. This is a challenge to them, and we ensure that they do so. These demands will be reviewed in a fortnight, i.e. 2 weeks, to see what actions have been taken, and our next line of action will be communicated to the media. Ghanaians across this country deserve far more than what we are witnessing today. Every single day that the president fails to protect our human and constitutional right to clean, safe drinking water and a healthy environment, which is swore an oath to uphold, he fails in his duty to every one of us. All our leaders who swore an oath to uphold their fiduciary responsibility to safeguard our natural heritage and tackle the Galamsey crisis have also tragically let us down. And I stress on that it is not only the battle for the president, but all our leaders who swore an oath to uphold their fiduciary. This is their constitutional mandate. It's the obligation to uphold their fiduciary responsibility to safeguard our national natural heritage and tackle the Galamsey crisis have also practically let us down. Now, We are once again, and as we conclude, challenging the president to prove us that addressing Galamsey with the urgency it deserves now as a national crisis is of utmost priority over winning the next elections. Mr. President, the coalition, we want to remind you, if you have forgotten, we are reminding you that you have about 4 months to redeem your presidency, which you stated you were prepared to put on the line to tackle Galamsey. The very situation we find ourselves calls for an urgent or emergency response to halt this menace. And as we all know, the President of the Republic of Ghana, now Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has nothing to lose if you take drastic decision to end this crisis now. And I take that once again, that the President of the Republic of Ghana, and now Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has nothing to lose if you take drastic decision to end this destruction of our water bodies, as his picture will not be on any ballot again. Mr. President, we urge you, and we are behind you. Whatever decision you take to safeguard our environment and water bodies, you have our full support of the media coalition and from all civil society organizations, and even the country as a whole. We will support any action you take to safeguard and protect our water bodies. Act by the end of September, as I've already indicated, we commit to full civil solidarity in support of actions proposed by UTAC and other trade and labor unions in Ghana. Enough is enough. The time has come for the state to prioritize our welfare and lives. Stop the poisoning of our rivers. Halt the destruction of our forests. Citizens' lives matter too. Act now. Thank you.
Ghana's coalition against Galamsey. This is Ghana's coalition against Galamsey. Don't be deceived when they tell you about 1 million or so. Yes, we have small-scale miners that might have numbers, but the people involved in this illegality. And so when you have any community, when you go to war and you poison the water of your enemy, is considered a war crime. Arusha is your place. So when you have a people who poison their own selves, how do you describe those people? If you have leaders who have to act, who refuse to act, and we have voted them into office, and this happens. So now it's a clarion call. There are over 12 messages, statements that have been issued. Today we've heard from the Bishops' Conference, we've heard from the Christian Council, we've heard from all the other stakeholders that are here. Labour has also joined. If the sale of Smith properties was going to affect our pensions, then what happens when you start having children who have the ice at the side of their head? When you start having turbidity, and again, note the time that turbidity is at 14,000. And don't be deceived. The WHO asks for water to be treated to be between 1 and 5 NTUs. In the Seferiman, the design is 500 NTUs. Ghana Water pushes it to 500 NTUs, 2,000 NTUs, 2,000 NTUs. Now it's 14,000 NTUs. And you see what God has done? There's a drought now as well. If we don't act now, we'll start licking clay as water. So I think the president ought to hear it. That now we are resolute in our ask. So as we've said, we are working in tandem. The media, we're going to be working in tandem with the labor unions. So definitely there are going to be some demonstrations that are going to happen. There's a strike that is going to happen. What we as media were going to do when the strike starts, we're going to black out everything the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources everything environment that they do concerning this. So we pray that the president would act now. The president should act now. He has the power to go into the constitution in Article 31 and declare that state of emergency. It is not enough for the Speaker of Parliament to come to Parliament and lament like you and I. If he knows those who are involved in it, because that's one of the things we as media, my charge to also you, we need to start carrying out our investigative reportage and start naming them. Start naming them, putting names out there. It's not only name and shame. We're also looking for lawyers. We're looking for lawyers and we'll start taking action. ICC is a place to go. There's a conversation about ecocide. But even if ecocide has not crystallized yet, we can go under poisoning humanity. So yes, we are exploring all those possibilities. We've been talking from 2017 up to today. We've stopped talking. We will now put pressure. And in this stage, as media, we are not going to report what other people say. We've taken a position. Our position is for Ghana. The Constitution puts sovereignty in our hands. It's not in the hands of just a few elected people. Where was the NDC when the LI 2462 was passed? Where were they? So they themselves, they are culpable in it. Again, go back and look at the history. In 2016, we had a president, the current president, in Obuasi, talking about the fact that it's a lie that when he comes, he's coming to stop Galamsey. So what does that mean? It means what? Perpetuating it. So you saw 2017, TBT go up. Then when we started the fight, there were elements in the NDC as well. One of them was caught on tape talking about the fact that the 7th January when they come, they should go back into the pit. So 2020 we started, they left to the wall. And they've never gone back to it, Operation Halt, all of that. We've seen a parliamentary candidate say he would they should beat up soldiers who come. That is a crime. By that time, that person should be prosecuted. But what has happened to it? Nothing. And am I hearing some other vice presidential candidates talking about the fact that they're going to release excavators? What is that? What is that? I'm also hearing some other presidential candidates talk about the fact that when you ban Galamsey, job what? What is that? We are in a crisis, and so we are going to be asking to meet all the presidential candidates, and we want them to put it open that they support this, whatever action that we're asking for, they support it. We don't want them to come to Accra and come and tell us, oh, they are not fighting Galamsey. Then they will go into some of those places and do that. So please, for all of us who are here, it's because you are committed not to your future. Forget about your future. It's about your today. It's about your now. The fact that you are being poisoned. It's about the genocide that is continuing. It's about fighting that. Then we'll start thinking about the future. So we all need to act. Don't just be sitting in your confines of your small room. We all need to start doing something. That's why I'm in red. Because I'm mourning. I am mourning, unfortunately, our stupidity as Ghanaians. The fact that we've allowed our leaders to do that. That has to stop. And it has to stop from today. Now we've had union, everybody spoke. And so if the president is not acting, then our action that will take place as the president of GJA and then Labour also has said, UTAG has said, by the end of the month, it will take place. So that we will then make the state, we will take the advice that His Excellency the President gave us. We will not be spectators. We will be citizens. And we will hold him accountable. He is the president till the 7th of January, and he needs to act. It is not going to be sufficient enough for him just to be talking. He should take a lead from the likes of Otumfo and make sure that those who are culpable, they should be dealt with. What is happening to Akota Mines? How come the directors of Akota Mining are still walking around when the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources have pointed them out as being involved in an illegality? They are on tape as mining close to the buffer of the tunnel. And that's an illegality. How are they there? Busumi Frehon, former DC, he was caught on tape confessing to an illegality. He was allowed to go and bury his wife. And when he came back, all we said was that he's been dismissed. Going to the Minerals and Mining Act, there is no punishment like dismissing you. Heritage Imperial, large-scale miners, they were given a prospecting license. They've gone into the forest reserve, Pramprama Forest Reserve, and they have the guts when they were suing Erasmus to go and say in court that they are mining operation. They don't have a mining operation. Because the EPA to tell us that they don't have a permit to mine. That is an illegality. I mentioned it to Mekuduka on the TV program. Nothing has been done about it. So there are several examples of people who are close to power, who are influential, who nothing have been dealt with. The president himself, in Koforidua, there was a meeting that I was chairperson and he was guest of honor. I asked him what he was doing at Akonta mining. He told me there that Akonta mining was not involved in illegal mining as we speak. That cannot be the answer. And so please, that time is gone. And we are asking the president to act now. We are asking all the political parties to support the particular fight and support all of us, Ghana. God bless our homeland and make us great and strong. Thank you very much.